Nurse, this gold foil was extracted on my previous video. This is got from 450 gram of pole plated pin. So what we're going to do now is to filter this gold foil from the water, because I don't want any tiny gold as lost during the decantation. I catch in the filter and dry, and then dissolve into the aguardia, because this one there's no other content metal, only gold foil. So after dissolving the aguardia, we precipitate instead of sodium metabisulfite. I precipitate with the sodium lye sodium hydroxide, and see what is the difference between of them, because sodium metabisulfite, after precipitating, then settle down the gold, decant the excess solution, and separate the gold powder, there is gold remain in the solution. And I think sodium hydroxide is nothing left in the solution, all are precipitated. So let's do that, and let's make a sample on my previous recovery. And there I have maybe 4 liter of West solution, and after adding the liquid soda to precipitate all chemicals, then instead of going to drainage for disposal, and I realized that I read the posting on their website, which is Gold Refining Forum, that you need to test your solution first before to dispose, because sometimes there's gold remaining. So I test that, but I'm very thankful that that idea is good. It's positive for gold. There's gold in the solution, so I don't dispose in the drainage. I kept them, then I'll waiting my product is sodium metabisulfite and other and the sodium hydroxide. And now I received the product, so I continue this job. My point is, we compare precipitation with sodium hydroxide and sodium metabisulfite. So let's update you after this process. Okay, done filtration, and I catch all gold foil from floating in the water, and there's water inside. See that? Then after this, next we add to this beaker for drying. Let's do it. Let's turn on our hot plate. Hit a little bit. Let's update you after this drying. Then next we dissolve into the aguardia. And now we're going to the next steps for the aguardia solution. I add 100 ml hydrochloric acid, 100 ml. Then we slowly add HNO3, so that we do not allow excess nitric acid here, because it is difficult to precipitate. And slowly adding, if we see that gold foil has dissolved, and then we stop adding nitric acid. So let's begin. So what we're going to do now is turn on our hot plate for medium heat. And number 2, hot plate started to heat. Let's wait in a minute. Let's begin to pour ml of HNO3. The reaction has started. Then we turn on our pan. Started to dissolving gold foil. Now it will take a minute, and I will update you after dissolve. As you can see now, the tiny gold foil has slowly dissolved, and the remain is a very thick gold plated foil. See that? That one is very thick, and the both sides. While the solution going to heat, the gold foil has slowly dissolved. That is our favorite reaction. And now when the solution is started to boil, number 2, and the bigger gold foil in there has been dissolved now, and the remaining residue in there, I think there are some plastic and the dust. So let's add another nitric acid to complete dissolve. That is equal 10 ml nitric acid, 68%. So after this, if we say that all the gold foils are dissolved, then we take down the solution and allow it to cool down. Then before that, we add also small amount of sulfuric acid to precipitate any lead, if any presence. So after this, we filter, cool down, filter, then we precipitate with this sodium hydroxide. After a few minutes, our gold solution is very good, and I think all the gold foil are dissolved, and our hot plate now is turned off, and we down the solution to cool down. Then we filter this one, then adding a 1 shot of sulfuric acid. So we are now allowing to cool down. Then we set up a filter there, 100 ml. We don't use vacuum, it is too small. Now I start filtering with the assless filter, 18 diameter filter. Let's update you after this process. As you can see, the solution is very clear, and this is the good filter. I tried this many times, and there is a 50 ml remain. Let's take a minute. Let's update you after this filtration. And now let's take a quick stainless test for this to verify that there's gold in the solution. See that dark stain? That's the perfect indication that there's gold in the solution. Okay, start to second filtration, and some of the first filtration capture all solids, plastics, and I think there's some lead in there, make a white color. As you can see, the second filtration is very clear solution. And let's update you of this after this. I make second filtration of this solution because for the first filtration is cloudy solution, and our goal is a very clean solution just like that, because if we precipitate, we don't make trouble, we don't trouble. So I think it's very good, very clear solution. Okay, done filtration, and as you can see, very clear solution. Let's take a heat a little bit, then we precipitate with the caustic soda flex lye sodium hydroxide. So let's take a look. Okay, start heating. Number 5. This take a few minutes. Okay, done heating. So let's precipitate with the sodium hydroxide. So if we don't get a perfect precipitation in this process, so we add this process as our collection or our experience. So let's take a look. As you can see, when I add small amount of turn to dark black. It is the indication that the nitric acid and hydrochloric acid is started to die. Then continue adding after the pH reached to 14. The gold are precipitated as a fine powder accordingly, but this is my our trials if we got perfect precipitation. As I continue added sodium hydroxide, the solution becomes true black. We add sodium hydroxide until there's no reaction. Then I add water to become 400 ml from 250 ml. I add 100 ml. And this is my first stainless steel, and we allowed to settle down the gold within 24 hours, 12 hours or more. Then we make stainless test, then we compare to this if we got precipitation. So let's continue, update you after this, allowing settle down the gold. So let's take a look tomorrow. And now after 22 hours, because we cannot continue our job in after 12 hours because we have important work, our full-time job, we have a duty. And now as you can see, the solution that I was precipitated with the sodium hydroxide is very clear. And this is our last stainless test that I performed in the before precipitating with the sodium hydroxide, and we try to test this one. As you can see, zero gold in there. So this is the precipitation. It's a chocolate brown fine powder. So what we're going to do now is to decant this solution and transfer to this container. And the precipitation is we put in the smallest beaker, and we take a look our previous precipitation with the Simbi. As you can see here, it's almost 4 liter. And let's pick little one to test. Let's add this. Then we add stainless steel. As you can see, turning into dark a purple. That is the indication that there's gold remain in this west solution. See that? Very dark stain. So that west solution is very clear, and as you can see, there's no other color. Very clear, as look like water, or maybe yellowest, or what's that? So that solution, we add that sodium hydroxide to precipitate precious metal in there, gold, which is gold. And we clean this precipitation, transfer to this, transfer to the solution there. Now done transfer the precipitation, which is black, chocolate brown. There is solution, and we add water in there, then we boil for until we say that it's clean. So let's take a look. We had a small amount of water in there. And this is our first boiling. Start to 5. Our hot plate is turning on and start to heat. Let's update you after this. After 3 times boiling with water, now we wash with the hydrochloric acid. As you can see, it's very clear and good. A gold powder. Look like it's beautiful. Yes. So let's update you after this. Then we melt this one. How much we got? Very nice color. Okay, done boiling with the hydrochloric acid. Now we dry the gold powder and we put to our melting dish for melting after drying. And now our gold is ready for melting. That is our gold. Too small. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's take on the scale. So 1.1 gram. So not bad. Very nice gold button. So thank you so much for watching, and God bless you everyone. I hope you subscribe to this channel. And
Sorry, it's DJ.